Hey, how is everybody out there doing? This is one of the intro episodes for what I'm calling the Blue Dragon Tavern. This is going to be part of a ongoing series for Honest Craft Beer reviews. It is a place where you can come onto Facebook and you can also find us there. Honest Craft Beer Reviews on Facebook. This is pretty much just a style of chat or a tavern style chat where you can come. I'll set it up for whoever wants to, participate. Any kind of members of the chat system can come in, and we are doing a tavern style chat. We're going to introduce our beers, what we're drinking, maybe a little tidbit on the flavor profile, and from there, it's anything that you want to talk about, anything in the craft beer industry, your day, etc., etc. Let it have it. And tonight, our guest is one of my great friends, Chris Bennett. He hosts the Beer and Bullshit show Wednesdays periodically as of right now. And if you haven't seen it as of right now, definitely go over there. Check it out. That is a great show. Very informative. And Chris, do you have anything you want to say for your channel?
Check out my show, The Beer and Bullshit. And you can find it. Go to YouTube and go in the search engine and just type The Beer and Bullshit Show. You'll see all 67 episodes. And believe me, you will not be disappointed. The show is hilarious. It's funny. It's serious. And we're a bunch of beer snobs that we just love drinking beer and shooting the shit. So check it out. The show's going to be more new and improved in the upcoming months, and stop by.
Great. I love being a part of your show, man. It is, as you said, if people don't know about it, it's the Beer and Bullshit show. It's funny. People come to laugh with us and, well, about us, whether or not they're viewers or whatnot. But at the same time, it is very informative. We come together as a group of people. We have fun. We chat about the beers that we're having, and therefore we're getting involved in politics, whatever is in the news informational, more specific on beer or whatever you have it. If you got any kind of information, as well as here, we would love to have everybody that is on your show come over and also participate on the Honest Craft Beer as well, to kind of give people a notion of what we do.
One of the things I want to talk about is first of all, I want to know what Scott is sipping on right now.
My friend, I have already had one this evening and I'm on my second, but tonight I decided I'm going to go ahead with the Lagunitas Sucks, and this is the 32-ounce quart.
Sweet.
And matter of fact, I'm going to show you and see if you can see it. There's the dog. I'm actually drinking out of a Lagunitas little pint glass.
Cool.
And what are you sipping on, my friend?
And for me, this is such a good beer, and just too bad I brought it out of the vault for one last time. The Brooklyn.
Oh, nice.
the black chocolate stout.
That's a really good beer.
I love it, and I had one left. This is the 2014 version, and it's been sitting in my fridge for probably over a year and a half now, and I figured I got to make room for some other beer. So
Remind me again, what's the ABV on that?
it's a 10%er.
Nice. So it ought to be very smooth by now.
It is smooth. It's less boozy than I remembered it was. The last time I had one early last year, and you can pick up more stuff from it now that it's subsided a little bit. You can pick up a little bit more coffee to it than before. So I think, and it's not bad. I mean, I'm not a coffee stout kind of person, but this one has a good amount of coffee note to it. So um, I like it. I think I might get into some coffee stouts. I know some are just like overbearing coffee, but that's the ones I don't like is the overbearing coffee stouts. But if it's got like a nice blend of coffee in it, I like it. But this is a really good one.
If you haven't had it or if you could trade for it, I would definitely suggest, say, um, AleSmith Speedway Stout aged in Kopi Luwak, which is the world's most expensive coffee or one of them. I would also suggest seeking out or maybe trading for 20, what was it? It was 2014. Yeah, I think it was the 2014. What was it? Dark Lord, which was brewed from Three Floyds with, damn, I don't remember the coffee company. But it was very good as well. One of my favorite stouts brewed with coffee happens to be the AleSmith Speedway Stout on the Kopi Luwak. That was just so smooth, so amazing. The coffee wasn't overbearing. It added a little bit of bitterness to it, but at the same time, you got just a hint of the coffee bean, and it was just so amazing. And it's one of those ones that we don't get around here because they only release it either in bottles out in Cali or it is kegged and they have to fight for the kegs.
Wow.
But yeah, that in my opinion, those two beers alone are some of the best brewed coffee stouts that I've ever had. The Three Floyds is it's a little harder to get to, only because of the fact that you know how hard Three Floyds beers are to get, and especially Three Floyds, Dark Lord. That was the actual beer that they put out. It was brewed with coffee that year, and some people degraded it because they said that the coffee company is one of the worst in the area. But at the same time, I had no problem whatsoever with that beer. It was so smooth. It was chocolatey, roasty, coffee. You got the dark Russian Imperial Stout flavors. I mean, it was one of the best beers that I have had at that time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna grab another. We'll be back in a minute.
Go right ahead, my friend. And as for our viewers, to keep you a little updated on what we're doing, while my dear friend Chris is getting another brewski beer, we will be doing this regularly. I'm thinking either Fridays or Saturdays. Anybody that is out there in the Honest Craft Beer reviews, please let me know what you think. Would you rather me do this on Fridays? Would you rather me do this on Saturdays? You be the judge. Back to Chris.
All right, let's see here. Oh, so many choices. So many choices. Let's see. I'm gonna grab something that is dear, probably a little dear to Mr. Terrence. He's a big fan of this brewery.
Oh.
The Winter Lager.
So you're going to go with the Samuel Adams Winter Lager?
Yeah. In fact, my boss let me order beer for a store today.
Very
and
nice.
I told him that we had the Grapefruit IPA in the warehouse, and he didn't know about it. And I said, order it, get it into the store. And he's like, all right. So the store that we'll have it in tomorrow, and I can't wait to get my hands on a 6-pack of it. I'm assuming he only ordered 2 cases, but I'm assuming that is going to go quick.
As a new, fruit beer on the shelves, I would say yes.
Yes.
It's out now. It's a fruity beer. Anybody that likes the IPAs, anybody that likes the citrus flavors of grapefruit, yeah, they're definitely going to like it. And it's not going to be the best, I'll tell you that. I have yet to find the best. I've been through Sam's Grapefruit. I've been through, who was it? Matter of fact, wasn't it? Somebody else did a grapefruit. It was the Grapefruit Sculpin. Yeah, they did it. Grapefruit Sculpin. I kind of tried to pair the two together, and it was just, one was more hoppy, one was more grapefruit at the same time. It was like both of them are good. One's West Coast, one's East Coast. If you kind of meet in the middle, it would be a perfect beer. But at the same time,
Are you
Chris.
which one? I kind of which one did you do side by side?
The Grapefruit Sculpin.
Okay.
If you've had the grapefruit,
yeah, that's the one that I really liked. I really liked the Grapefruit Sculpin.
Okay, that it is a really good beer. It's, to me, the Grapefruit Sculpin actually showcases both the grapefruit and the hops at the same time, whereas the Sam's Grapefruit Rebel, or the Rebel Grapefruit, it showcases more of the grapefruit. So it's up to the drinker to decide. Some people say that they really like the Sam's over the Sculpin. Some people say that they like the Sculpin over the Rebel. Again, each to their own when coming to whatever beer that they want to drink.
I still think, all right, you need to make the challenge. All right, and I already did the challenge. You need to put the the Slow Ride by New Belgium up against the Rider, and see how you like it, because
All right.
I like the slow ride better. And if people video or whatnot, and a lot of people that are craft beer enthusiasts in this town kind of agree with me with the better, and we can't get rid of that rider. We're stuck with it.
Okay.
So we can't get rid of the rider. But the slow ride, we're always out of it. So I don't know what it is. I don't want to take credit for it, but in this town, we can't sell that rider.
I will say this. When it comes to Sam's, Sam's has become, even though that I'm like one of their biggest fans, their biggest promoters on Facebook, I will say this. They have become into that fine niche of mediocrity. And that's because of Jim Cook. I love him to death, but at the same time, they have become into that niche of mediocrity, and they're trying to climb out of it. As you know, I will show off the can for this review. I have had the Rebel Raw at the same time. Their double IPA that is mocking or collaborating against the Stone Enjoy By. I don't know. I will do that review, though. I will take your advice, and I will do the comparison of the two. I know they're two different beers. I know they're pretty much in the same style line of
Right.
Of double IPA, or like high gravity IPAs, close to double IPA.
Oh no, actually, the rider and the slow ride are like a session. They're sessions.
Oh, you're talking about the rider. I thought you were talking about raw.
The rider. I'm thinking the Wowzer and the Rampant.
Yeah, because you did that video as well, didn't you?
I did that video as well. But you know the biggest viewed video that I've done is neither one of those. Actually, the biggest the one that I did was the Not Your Father's versus the Coney.
Really?
Yes, that is the most viewed video on my YouTube channel.
And let people know exactly which beer that you like the most.
I like the Coney better.
Thank you.
Only because the Coney tastes more like A&W root beer.
Thank you.
And I grew up with A&W root
right.
beer. Not Your Father's is way too sweet. And in fact, I still got in the fridge. Okay. But the Not Your Father's is way too sweet, a little too sweet for my taste. All right. I mean, I've done an informal poll with people when I'm out and about, because I work with the public, obviously. And I asked people.
Don't know that Chris is actually a distributor for the beer industry.
Informal. Hey, what do you like? You like the Not Your Father's? You like Curious? Nothing. I'm not. Putting you on the spot or anything. Most of the women like the Not Your Father's. Most of the guys like the Coney. Now, there's always some kind of, abnormality to, sometimes it's the other way around, but most of the women like the Not Your Father's, and most of the guys like the Coney. Because the chicks like the sweeter.
I'll agree with that. Because I see it all the time. Women,
and there's nothing there's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
No, not at all.
And the guys they like something that, you know, they're just gonna pound. All right. So
Right.
And you know, I mean, and then now there's like 3 or 4 new hard root beers out. There's a couple hard sodas out, and I think that's the thing for this year. I think this year, okay, the big things this year, all right, and don't quote me on this, but the big thing this year is the hard sodas and sours.
Sours are definitely getting big. I've heard loads of things from the industry on sours.
We're supposedly getting a sour that is made by Sierra Nevada. It's a ghost.
Oh, the Goza
And
style.
supposedly, yes, we're supposedly getting it soon. So
would that be the one that's brewed with cactus?
I'm not quite sure what it is, but a guy who works for one of the liquor companies said that he was up in a town about 40 miles north of me, and he said he saw a Sierra Nevada ghost in a 6-pack at a store up that way, and we have Sierra Nevada, but obviously that's a different distribution.
I'm just taking a look right at the moment to see if I could find anything by Sierra Nevada coming out to kind of give a grips on any type of newer beers coming out from them. I do remember a Sierra Nevada, I believe it was a Sierra Nevada Goza style that was brewed with cactus. I don't know if that's it, but I'm taking a look at the moment. Do you remember their Ovelia collection? It was a kind of like the monks style beers of Sierra Nevada.
Faintly.
Yeah, well, they only come out every so often, but they actually have a picture that they're going to be releasing a 3-pack of the Ovelia. It's a Belgian style Abbey brown ale, the Abbey style saison, and a Abbey quad, all in the same pack. And that sounds very interesting at the same time. I try to keep up with this, but at the same time, it's so hard. So many beers come out. I see labels every day, all day, constantly, that labels get approved. Right. And it's just like, okay, when are we getting it? Where is it hitting? How many cases are you sending out? And I hear back sometimes from the companies whether, oh, well, we're going to be hitting your market, but you're only going to be getting X amount of cases, right. which makes it very hard for craft beer enthusiasts or craft beer loyalists to certain companies to get a hold of some of these beers, because of the fact that if they only send us X amount, let's say they send us 2 cases, you got to be there on that day that we get them, right, or you're not going to get them. I mean, you of all people in the distributing company,
I mean,
you would know.
Yeah, working for a distributor, something comes up and someone tells me about it, and there's always someone out there that's more knowledgeable about what's coming out than I am, because I'm not spending 2-3 hours on the internet trying to find what's the next biggest thing, I'm looking in my warehouse, okay, because that's where it's at. And I'd even there was some stuff that was sent to one of the other places I work at. I work at a liquor store, and had I known that he had a whole bunch of this, I probably would have bought a case of this. It was the barrel-aged Narwhal.
Oh, God. Yes.
And they sold it, okay, so they can just get rid of the house. They sold this at $60 a case.
Are you serious?
I'm not.
That's insane.
Yeah. Had I known they were gonna, had I known my boss was going to send cases and cases of that into one of the into the store that I work at, okay, of my part-time gig, all right, I would have bought just a case of that Narwhal.
I'm telling you what, that beer alone in my market here in Ohio, if we were able to get it's a little out of our ABV limit. What is it, like 12.5%, 13%?
Well, let me look. %13.
Okay. That beer in our market would have been marked up to say anywhere between $14 to $15 a bottle.
And what happened was that they sold it to the store at $60 a case, and they're selling it at $8.50 a bottle.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
And I can't even get it over here. And I was like, oh my God. That's insane.
So basically, Scott, had I bought 2 cases at $120, okay, I could have just landed it, okay, on your front porch, okay, I mean, and sold it to you for maybe $90 a case, okay. You could have sold it for $180 a case.
Right. Because take this for example. Some of the Clown Shoes beers that we get here, I don't know if you get very many of them over there. I don't know if they hit your distribution or not.
We do, but we don't. We get a limited amount of it, but I still haven't drank any Clown Shoes because the distribution here in Springfield is so funny. Okay. We got beers that go from distributor to distributor. Okay. Like Clown Shoes, they were first distributed by Specialty. Okay. And Specialty does a really shady job of their beers. So we don't know which Clown Shoes we're getting. Are we getting the freshest Clown Shoes, or are we getting something that was maybe 2 years ago Clown Shoes? That's the problem.
I get that. We just got Clown Shoes out here roughly a year ago, and when we got them out here, they were very spry. We only got pretty much their 12-ounce bottle series, and when I say 12-ounce bottle series, that's the minimum that Clown Shoes does. If you want the premium Clown Shoes, then you're going to have to start getting into their Bomber series. And that's what I really like about Clown Shoes, is that they do their base beers in a 12-ounce or 12-ounce bottles and 4 packs, 6 packs, whatever they do nowadays. And their bomber series is where it's at. Clown Shoes, when they get into their barrel aging series, it is just phenomenal. They're kind of like my hometown or home state series, Jackie O's. Jackie O's is just, they're bar none when it comes to their craft beer series when it's barrel aging. But when you're talking 12-ounce bottles or 11 point or 12.5 ounce or 11.5 ounce bottles, they're okay. They're good. You can pick up a Jackie O's, a small bottle, and be content with it. But when you're picking up a Jackie O's barrel age series, you better be ready for it because it is going to be a flavor punch to your mouth. Just like what I think with Clown Shoes. And I got a chance to talk to the representative that was from Clown Shoes, and we talked for good, 30, 35 minutes. And I told him all about my channel, your channel, and what we do. And I'm like, you gotta keep coming here. You gotta keep shipping to Illinois. You gotta keep shipping to Indiana. You gotta keep shipping to Ohio. You gotta keep shipping. I mean, because they're from Mass, and it's just like what you guys do up there is just phenomenal. Keep coming to us.
Also, there's some more other beers I got. That I haven't touched any of the Narwhal. I only got 2 bottles of the Narwhal. Okay. Nice. And I'm saving those bottles. Okay. I'm actually gonna probably maybe drink one of these, depending on the outcome of Sunday's game. I know you're a Patriots fan, and I'm a Broncos fan. Okay. This has been one of those beers that I'm kind of waiting. It's the Boulevard Smokestack series. It's the Aztec Chocolate Stout.
Okay.
It is a let's see, 11%er.
Nice.
Or here's another one. It's from the Smokestack series. Also, it's and I got 2 bottles of these, by the way. It's a bourbon barrel quad, ale aged in bourbon barrels with cherries.
Sounds very lovely. From who?
From Boulevard. And this is a 12%er.
Oh, so it sounds like you got a wide variety of the range, and from what Boulevard, the company, actually does.
Yeah, it's it was a special release that they did, and our company happened to have, for some reason, a whole bunch of it. So we sold it off to the liquor store that I work at part-time, and I got bottles for at cost. So
sounds like you got a good deal.
yes, I did. So, and I've got other stuff in the fridge too that I've been sipping on. I think, to tell you the truth, I think my favorite beer this year so far is the not that one. The this one, actually. The two-time smash by Southern Tier.
Oh, very nice.
It is a double IPA, single malt, single hop, brewed with mosaic hops and special pale malt. So,
And
that happens to be
that's your
my
favorite
one
of 2016 so far.
Of 2016 so far, right?
Okay.
But we still got another 11 months. So,
but at least you can keep track of that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what I like about doing the video reviews and talking with people. If I can keep this going as a constant thing, kind of like what you do with your show, I wanted to do like a sit down tavern kind of thing where people can talk about whatever they want to talk about, and it's just like. You can look back at either my videos, your videos, or whoever's videos that you're featured on, and you can be like, oh, yeah, I remember having that beer. That was a really, really good beer. Or even if, like, say, us, per se, as reviewers, we can sit back and look back and be like, oh, I remember having that beer. That was one of my favorite beers at the time. But at the same time, I finally found another beer that is actually greater than that beer.
And also, what I like to do, and I've been really lackadaisical on this with my own show, is to edit and put it like best of kind of show. I mean, my show's been going on for 2 years now, so I think it's probably long due for like a best of kind of show, um, uh, like a best of where when I need an increase of viewers or something like that, just say, hey, look, this is the best of, you know, the and plus I need to write down all the beers that we've had on the show since the beginning.
That's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably it's reached around 300 right now.
Oh, at least.
At least.
I mean,
So
between you and me, we usually have at least 3 or 4 different beers a show.
right. So I'm thinking I need to do that as well. I got vacation coming up in March. So I'm gonna tap my son's brain and see what I can do for editing and just produce a best of maybe the first 20 episodes, 25 episodes or something like that, and put it in a hour and a half format or something like that. Because there were some really good moments in those first 25, and then maybe do another between episode 26 and 50, and then do another one between 51 and 75 or something like that. So and then maybe add some little stuff to it and stuff. So, and plus I really want to do more comparison videos too. Maybe I'll do a Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin and the Sam Adams Grapefruit IPA comparison. See how I feel about it. You're on mute. Hey Scott, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I was...
It's okay. Now, no, go ahead and go what you were saying.
I'm anxious to see what you think about the Rebel Raw and the double IPA.
See, the problem is that I don't know when they're going to release the Raw again.
I keep a close eye on that. So as soon as I hear anything from your state, I will definitely let you know.
As soon as I see it in the warehouse, and I'm hoping they'll have it in the warehouse, I really would like to get my hands on a what are they, the 4-pack?
Yep.
Also, New Belgium, and I know it's probably a little difficult for you guys to get New Belgium out there, isn't it?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay, they've got a Folly pack out, a new one. They're always trying to reinvent the wheel, okay? Because in a state where you've got over 100 craft breweries, you know, you've always got to compete, okay? Right. And then you're losing your market share, of course.
Of course.
But the out there, they're not really competing against each other. They're trying to lure people from like Coors to start drinking the craft beer. Okay, because New Belgium always has their following, Oscar Blues has their following, Avery Left Hand's got their following, Breckenridge got their following. Every craft brewery has their following. Okay, and it's always interchanging. So you know, someone will say, "Hey, I like this from Oscar Blues, but I like this from Left Hand, and I like this from Breckenridge, and I like this from New Belgium, and I like this." You know,
they've got choices.
Yeah, they got choices, and from what I understand, they're competing against each other, but they're not competing against each other. Right. So their new Folly Pack has a rye PA that I would love to try, and they've got one. It's a tropical IPA in it.
I would wonder how that would fare up against. I believe Sierra Nevada has a tropical IPA out as well.
Okay, I have not seen that tropical IPA yet, so. But we get the majority of our warehouse gets a majority of our beer from Asheville.
Okay.
We don't get a whole bunch from Chico.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense. Anything east of the Mississippi is going to be brewed in Asheville, and anything west of the Mississippi is going to be. So.
Right.
I mean, like.
The only time I've had it, I've just seen that tropical IPA in bottles, and I've actually had it on tap. It's not too bad, but I wonder how it would do in a comparison bottle.
Right.
I'll look into that. Matter of fact, you've given me a new inspiration to look into with the tropical IPAs.
Next year, the New Belgium plant is supposed to be up in Asheville, North Carolina. So
they're going to be almost in the same spot.
Yes. So my brother up in Pennsylvania will finally get his fat tire. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and they'll be able to distribute to all 50 states. So.
Well, that's a good thing for them.
It is. Also, with this new thing with breweries so-called selling out, okay? I have a theory about craft beer, okay. All right? I think we've about hit our peak. All right. I think we've about hit our peak. I think there's probably room for probably another 300 to 500 breweries. Okay. And then it's going to level off. All right. There won't, in about 5 years, there won't be a lot of nationwide breweries. You'll still have your Sam Adams. You'll still have your Lagunitas. You still have your Sierra Nevada. You'll still have possibly Oscar Blues because they've got breweries in both spots. You'll possibly have maybe I'm thinking you'll probably have anywhere between 20 and 25 nationwide craft beers. Okay, and that'll be it. All right. A lot of the stuff that you see on your shelves as you go to the grocery store or your liquor store will be more regionalized. Okay. I don't think Great Lakes is going to expand any further than what they've got. Okay. I don't see I don't see a lot of these breweries, okay, that I see on the shelves here in Illinois. I anticipate a lot of those breweries, okay, that aren't in my region to go back into their own little region. Um, I just don't see a lot of mass distribution, especially when Budweiser is now concentrating on rebranding their brands, okay, and concentrating on their brands instead of pushing their 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 goal is to push 70% of Budweiser brands.
Right.
All right. And 30% whatever. Okay. So that 70% includes everything they own. Okay. And maybe 30% of it will be up to the distributor's discretion. But 70% has whatever InBev owns. So, but MillerCoors, depending on the acquisition, okay, as people know, here in the United States, we are not affected by the whole acquisition of InBev and SAB Miller. Okay,
Right. Right.
here in the United States, because of antitrust laws, because they didn't think that the whole merger of two huge breweries, okay, companies, all right, was gonna go for here in the United States, all right. Coors gets the first shot at buying Miller brands.
All right.
All right. They get the first shot. And they're going to buy them, of course. All right. And the Coors family will own those brands just in the United States. All right. But right now they're deciding which one of those brands, which one of those Miller brands that they own are they going to keep, or are they going to have to sell off?
Right, and I've heard rumor that they were going to do similar to what you're saying. They're going to let certain brands, they're going to either sell them off to other distributors, other companies, or just kind of liquidate them altogether.
Rumor is, and this is just a rumor, this isn't fact, it's just rumor,
Right.
that Peroni will go to InBev because it's a European brand. Okay, Reds may go to InBev, and there's another one I'm not quite sure on the third one. May go to InBev, but everything else Miller has. Plus, there is an interesting one where Miller owns Leinenkugel.
Ooh. Ooh.
There's a rumor. Okay, that either Coors will pick up Leinenkugel, Coors will let Leinenkugel go, or you'll be really interested in this one, Scott.
Oh, what?
That Sam Adams might have a collaboration, might do a 50-50 with Leinenkugel.
I will definitely be looking into that.
So, because now that Leinenkugel is nationwide, and if they're being consolidated, that means that they're not going to be able to push their wares nationwide anymore. But they're going to need the humpback on somebody to push their brands nationwide still.
Right.
So, and the Leinenkugel family and, the Koch family may do like a 50-50 kind of thing where Sam will be like, okay, well, we're kind of brothers in arms kind of thing. Okay, we're not going to mess with your stuff. You're not going to mess with our stuff. But at the same time, maybe Hunchback, maybe a Sam Adams, Leinenkugel kind of family type thing, because we know that Sam Adams is it's got the Twisted Tea, they've got the Travelers,
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I mean, they've got the equity, but they just don't have that kind of
they could. I could see it. They could pick them up. I could really see that.
So it's just a rumor. I'm not stating it as fact, folks, but that's what I've been hearing through the pipelines.
So
So
I'll throw it out there and I'll see if anybody fishes at it. But I haven't heard anything on the grapevine. But at the same time, I won't let that go. I mean, it's a high possibility.
yep. So I mean, it's a possibility. Because Leinenkugler's been so dependent on Miller, and now that Miller's being sold off, they're kind of like they're left. They're the redheaded stepchild. Like, what happens with us? Type. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially if a brewery is in trouble, somebody's going to pick them up. Somebody's going to help them out.
Because Coors already has Blue Moon,
Right.
so they've already got their so-called crafty beer, and I don't consider Blue Moon as crafty.
No, not at all.
So not at all. But according to Coors, they've got their crafty brand. Okay, so what do they do with Leinenkugel? Do they set them free, or do they pick them up at a loss or something? I don't know.
They're going to want the money for it. That's where Bud Miller and Coors, the BMC, they're going to want some kind of money for it. So therefore, one of the biggest industries or the biggest craft beers in the industry happens to be Samuel Adams. whether it be Anchor Steam, whether it be Sierra Nevada, whether it be Stone Brewing Company. All of them are some of the top tier when it comes to the financial industry of the brewing industry and craft beer. Um, my thoughts and theories on it. If anybody had a shot at it, it would probably be Samuel Adams, only the Boston Beer Company, only because of the fact that they give off that vibe as to middle of the road. They give off that vibe as in industries leading brewing company. They give off that big hey, I need help, can you help me? How do I want to put this? Sam's owns let's go through the companies that I can think of off the top of my head. They You've named some of the more prominent companies. Angel City out in Angel City. They own that. They own one down in, I believe it's Miami. They own Angry Orchard. They own another hard cider company as well. It's not very big even here in Ohio, but yet it is here in Ohio. They own another hard cider company. If people don't know, they actually are helpers of Coney Island. They actually do a lot for Coney Island.
Right.
They revamped their label industry for one. I don't know if they're actually doing anything for their beer. I would think they would. But they're doing something for Coney Island. They're doing what especially coming from Coney Island, is their hard root beer.
Right.
I hear a lot of good things from their Pilsner. If we can actually get anything else from Coney Island. They own like 5 or 6 different companies throughout the United States, coming from Boston Beer Company as subsidies. And I do not see a problem with them picking up this small niche company.
Right.
That would only help their portfolio even more.
Right. Right.
I mean, as a big industry company, if you can pick up somebody that has some kind of stability, that's going to help your portfolio. I mean, why wouldn't you?
True.
I mean, as a distributor, if you could pick up a smaller distributor that's not doing very much, that has prominent beers that that's going to sell, why wouldn't you pick them up?
Plus, with Coors buying Miller, here in the United States, they know that they'll be able to keep, well, all the distributors, they'll be able to keep the majority of the brands that they currently distribute. We have over 800 SKUs in our warehouse. That's breaking down every freaking flavor, domestic and import and domestic craft, and everything. So, there's no other avenue unless if you go through an independent. There's no other avenue for those bigger brands to go through than to go through the MillerCoors way. That's how Sam Adams gets their beers through. That's how Sierra Nevada gets their beers through. Because the reason why they go through MillerCoors is that MillerCoors is less likely to fuck you over than InBev was,
Right.
and that's the reason why they do it.
Well, we got about 10 minutes left within this little hour niche that we were planning on doing. We may run a little over or whatnot, but I don't care. Is there anything specifically that you want to tell people, let's say within your niche, within the distributing portion, as to how to select beer, or what beer is coming, what beer sells well? How do you select beer in your network?
I know that we're really awaiting quite a few things right now, and it's a slow period. It's January, February. Things don't start picking up until about March. In our distributing world here in Spring Patch, Illinois. I'm really looking forward to the Nitro, the Sam Adams Nitro. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Definitely, I am too.
And how it's been compared to the other nitros that are out there.
The first one that I know that's going to be released is the Nitro White Ale, because Sam's does a lot with white ales. I would almost like to say that they do too much with white ales, but at the same time, hey, you cannot go wrong with a white ale. The second may or may not be. They have two more after the white ale. They have a excuse me. They have a red ale, which I think that would come out second. I think that would come out mid-summer-ish. And then the chocolate or the coffee stout may come out winterish. If I'm wrong, I hope that the coffee stout comes out first, because if they have any inclination towards their Sam Stout, Nitro Stout, which they had previewed, I want to say almost 2 years ago. It was very good. It was a lovely nitro stout. It kind of gave an example, or a better example, of a Guinness-ish. It was more malty, it was more coffee, it was more nitro. And they plan on doing a nitro coffee stout, and I'm very looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to all three of them to be example on my love of Sam's. But at the same time, I'm still keeping a look on the Rebel Raw. I'm looking forward to anything else that's coming out. We also have the all lager pack that's coming out. We have the Nitro series coming out. We have their seasonal coming out. I'm not sure exactly at this time if they're going to put anything special into their summer pack or their fall pack, but that should be coming forward as well.
I think probably the spring pack will probably be the last one I'll buy from Sam Adams. I usually get the 24 pack. The summer beers I'm really not all that into.
Right.
I usually drink shandies all summer long.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna probably try to get back into homebrewing my own and start drinking, some of my home brews.
Yeah, if you homebrew anything, be free to post it up on Honest Craft Beers. Anytime you homebrew, let people know what you're homebrewing. Post up pictures of what you're homebrewing, how you're homebrewing it, and how it turns out, flavor profile, etc. We all like to know that.
So I've got some ideas on some beer I like to and just go from there. I think I've given up on probably having my own micro. I really would like
Never
to
give
do the
up.
hop. I think I'm probably going to do hop farming.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because I think with everything out in California, the water shortage and stuff like that, there places are going to look elsewhere for hops.
Definitely, and if you're going to do that, I would start it this year. If you do not grow anything this year, keep at it, and they may sprout next year.
Right. It takes two cycles for a hop to mature. So
Right, right.
we'll see then, and it really doesn't take a lot of land for hops, because they grow up. They don't grow out. They grow up.
Yep.
So we'll see there. That would be a good business to get into, especially with hop futures. And other than that, there, like I said, probably your the stuff that's coming out now is your spring stuff. Your St. Patrick's Day beers, basically your Irish Reds and stuff like that, your stouts and everybody's kind of gearing up for your St. Patrick's. Is our second biggest drinking holiday of the year. So
Right now, we're getting into Bachfest. Cincinnati has a big Bachfest that they get into. So I like to celebrate with not only Bachs, but the Irish Red Ales, Irish beers. So therefore, here in Ohio, Cincinnati with their Bachfest, I will celebrate with Celebrator if I can't get down there. Or let's just throw it out there, Sam's Irish Red, if I can get a hold of it, or Great Lakes Irish Red Ale.
if I can get some of that out here, I'll give it a shot. Wait a minute. I think I saw some. I think I actually did see some the other day of the Great Lakes. So I'll put that on my list. And like I said, usually around April, May, I stop buying, huge quantities of beer.
Right, because then you either homebrew or you get into other things.
Right. Right. So then I start getting back into the lighter session IPAs and stuff like that. And but I'll drink an IPA whenever. So I'm a hophead. I love my IPAs. So I think it's kind of interesting that Sam Adams would come out with the grapefruit now instead of like closer to the spring or summertime.
I think that it's a test market because I think that they want to test it now and then if they continue it with their Rebel series, that they will they'll eventually push it later.
Okay. Well, we got a pallet of it, so
Nice. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to it in the store maybe Friday, if not this Friday, next Friday. Other than that, it's whatever I find. I've seen some hit or miss beers. I've seen some really good hit or miss beers. I mean, if you can get them, you get them. If not, sorry for your loss.
right. Fortunately for us, and I'm probably going off our distribution. There's one. Actually, I think I still got a couple cans of it, and I bought it up in the Chicago area. And we're finally getting in this down in Springfield starting in February. Is the Half Acre Daisy Cutter.
Nice.
It's a pale ale. It's 5.2%, and it is a very delicious pale ale. In fact, it probably compares to the Alpha King from Three Floyds.
Very nice.
I was just told the other day that it comes out in February down here in Springfield, Illinois area, and Bell's Hop Slam will be out the 1st of February as well.
Very nice. I will be looking for that. Maybe if I can get it in a single bottle, because out here you're almost paying $20 a 4-pack.
Yeah, last year I paid $18.99 for a 4-pack of Hop Slam.
Right. I mean, it's just getting a little outrageous. I do understand that hops are generous and that the prices have gone up, but at the same time, it's just I don't know if I could pay for it.
I probably will not be getting a 4-pack this year of the Hop Slam. I'm probably going to skip out on the Hop Slam this year. So
right, if I can find a single bottle, I'll get it. If I can't, then I might just pass it by. I can't.
So, it's not because I don't want it. It's just because of money restraint. So,
right. I mean, that's almost like the same example with Dogfish Head 120 minute, or Dogfish Head 100 Worldwide Stout, or maybe even the old school. And when they brewed the old school barley wine, I mean, it's like $40 a 12-pack. I've also heard that they have another high gravity ABV, 17%. I don't know if it's a old ale, or if it's a hoppy old ale, or if it's an IPA or whatnot. But I heard it was still like somewhere around like $27-30 a 4-pack, and I'm like, dude, seriously, you gotta come down in prices, because some of this stuff is getting really overpriced.
We got we distribute Dogfish Head as well, and we got 2 of them that almost sound like what you're talking about. We got the Higher Math.
That's it.
Which sells at $35 a 4-pack.
Yep.
And they were and at one place they were selling it at $10 a single bottle.
Yep.
And then we got the other one, which is the Pennsylvania Tuxedo.
Yep.
Which was selling about the same price. So yeah, it's ridiculous. I was just like, I'm like, what do I really want to spend $35 on a 4-pack, or do I want to spend you know, I could get a 12-pack of the 90-minute for that same price.
Right. I mean,
So
it's all in what you want. I mean, if you're a reviewer, okay, that's something totally different. Um, if you can spend $10, I hate to say this, but if you can spend $10 or maybe say, $10 in tax on a single bottle of 120-minute IPA, just because of the fact that you want to review the brand new bottle that came out. Let's say that you have all four of these beers, Higher Math, the Worldwide Stout 120-minute IPA, and their barley wine Old School, all in the same spot. If you want to spend $40 in single bottles, in a 4-pack just to review them, okay, I understand that. But if you want to, say, spend $10 on a 120-minute IPA and $15 on a bottle of barrel aged stout, and another like $6 on single bottles of regular stuff, I get that. But at the same time, it's just like some of these high gravity beers or barrel aged beers are becoming outrageous you're buying them in quantities.
right, right. I mean,
I would
and
love
that's
to do a show with you on your show with the amount of high gravity IPAs, high gravity beers in general that people have to pay for this stuff because it's starting to get outrageous.
but you know what though, Scott? They can charge that. I mean, the market is, this is the good thing about the craft beer market. It actually is the closest to an actual free market, okay, that we could possibly get when it gets to beer, except for that the taxes on beer, depending on where you live, is
Right.
either not is either okay or it's way too ridiculous. So and a lot and the beers I get up in Kankakee or whatever, which is closer to Chicago, now that they're coming down here to Illinois, I mean Springfield, Illinois, the taxes here are a little bit cheaper, so I can get my Daisy Cutter probably $2 cheaper than I can get them up near Chicago.
Nice.
So, um, but uh, I'm really looking. I think that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to with the half acre brewery finally coming to Springfield, and also this year I want to start sending beers out to those who sent beers to me last year.
Very good.
So it's all gonna be in cans. I'm not gonna risk bottles. It's all gonna be in cans. My friend out in California, she sent me 6 bombers, so I'm gonna send her a 12 pack of nothing but cans out there for her to have. Um, my friend out in Colorado, he sent me 6 cans, so I'm gonna send him 6 cans. Um, Jessica sent me something, and Jim Bab, I'll send him something that he can't get out there, and Amy, I'll send her something because she sent me
Oh
that
God.
Hardywood or whatever.
The Hardywood gingerbread stout barrel aged. There you go, folks.
Number three on my 2015 best 2015 list.
I had the regular version, but I haven't had the barrel aged version yet. So I'm anxious to get the barrel aged version. And I heard that they did a variant this year, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
So I told her if she can't send it this year, that she can send it next year. I'm or we're just gonna have to, you know, go out there on a trip and get us some good Virginia beer that she's been talking about. So
Very good. Well, I will go ahead and end it now. As for our very first episode of the HBCR Tavern Chat, this is the what I'm calling the Blue Dragon Tavern Chat. If anybody wants to join, like I said, it's either going to be Friday nights or Saturday evening. So therefore, you see the kind of chat that we do. You see the kind of information that we give. So therefore, please support locally and at the same time drink great, amazing craft beer. And what is your sign out, Chris?
I'm gonna steal yours, Scott. Pros, drink good beer.
Great. And go check out I Am Scott White. I do Beer Geek beer reviews. And Chris, he does his regular, tidbit beer reviews. But at the same time, check his channel out. Check out Chris Bennett. He is great. He is good information. And join us on the Beer and Bullshit show. So therefore, peace out and join us again on the Blue Dragon Tavern. Thank you for joining us. Peace.